And the title is Machine. The Pleasure is Mine by Amardeep Banerjee.
Thank you.
So, let me see. 3, 2, 1, go!
Hello, Hanover. This is the last presentation of the evening and hopefully the best one. So, so today you're going to watch a short movie, and the movie is titled Machine, the Pleasure is Mine. Machine, ganz meine rights. And machine khushi meri hai. That's my natural human language. Yeah. And the hero is OEE. Okay, the movie is produced by Thermax India. Script is written on the plasma cutting machine. My transport partners are Deutsche Bahn. And I'd like to give a special thanks to my guest artists, Michael Jackson and Heidi Q. Okay, and before starting the movie, all characters in the short film are not fictional. Any resemblance is purely intentional, and objectionable content is not meant to be taken seriously, and it can be challenged in the court in case India wins the Football World Cup of 2014. Yeah. So we have our hero OEE, and he is a lean man. He has a 6 Sigma belt, and as it's an Indian movie, he has a problem, and there's a climax also. Okay. So this concept is applied to a production system. So what is a production system? It's a factory. In a factory, you have various departments. And the department on which I worked is the first department. So that's, in a way, the bottleneck machine. In case, Mansa was the first presenter over here. So if she could have taken 20 minutes for the first presentation, the whole thing would go haywire. Similarly, I work on a similar department. In case something goes wrong over there, the whole process, the sales gets affected. So what's OEE? Just hold on. Is it the currency of Oman, Europe, and England? No, because it's not yet come in the US presidential agenda, so it's not. So, and I come from the land of Kama Sutra. So the first thing that comes to my mind is sex. So OEE is orgasmic equipment effectiveness, maybe. Yeah. Okay. So now getting serious. Imagine you're driving a car from Agra to Varanasi, and you do not have a speedometer, nor do you have brakes. What happens? First time, this happens later. So similarly, in case your machine does not have your OEE, you do not know what is your current performance of the machine, and at what time can you achieve your targets. Okay, so this was applied to a plasma cutting machine. What is a plasma cutting machine? Everybody cuts vegetables over here, so, or cutting cakes, waffles. When we cut waffles, generally we do not waste it. We keep it. Similarly, in this thing, we do not waste the steel plates. We use it. So the quality % is generally high. Can we have a trial run of the cutting machine, maybe? This can be analogized maybe to a knife. Okay, and this is the concept of lean manufacturing. This stunt is not to be performed outside. Asking a fat man, what do you think about lean? Okay, so everybody here goes to McDonald's. Yesterday, for the last week, I'm going to McDonald's, and 3 times I went there. The first time, it took me 15 minutes in the waiting time. Second time, it took me only 3 minutes. And the third time, it took me 20 minutes. So it's an average of about 10 minutes. But I think twice before going there because of the high variability. So similarly, the concept of lean manufacturing is applied to a production system to reduce the variability, to minimize the variability. Okay, now getting serious. What is a value-added activity? So for the plasma cutting machine, the value-added activity was steel cutting. And similarly, in case if I am a writer, my value-added activity will be writing. Everything else comes into non-value-added activities. Okay, yesterday I had plans of studying, but I could not. And I noted down what was the non-value-added activities which prohibited me from studying. One of them was eating, since I like to eat. Second was, things were not ordered in my room. And traveling time was too much. It was 2 hours. And I had a bad stomach yesterday. And so for that, what should I do? I should do yoga. I should go to the gym. So that's preventive maintenance for a machine. And hygiene takes time. And loss of concentration, this is highly variable. Yesterday, I spent 4 hours on Facebook doing nothing. Okay. Yeah, and you can see we have 24 hours. And 8 hours I sleep normally. And the machine generally is working for 2 shifts. So it's operation for 16 hours. Okay? So now, when we have analyzed the non-valued activities in the plant, we applied some methods and we did a before-after comparison. It's better to have illustrations. So as you can see, we reduced the tool searching time, and as you can see in this, things were not in order. To reduce the tool searching time, we made a standard operating procedure so that the operator comes, he just needs to look at the column in which tool is where. So that reduces the tool searching time in a long way, and it also applies the concept of lean manufacturing. But didn't you get this? This is a better example. Before, after. After surgery, before surgery. Yeah. Okay. So now we move on to productivity. Okay, what's productivity? This is a biological cycle, a 24 hours clock. Do you know at 6 o'clock in the evening, our blood pressure was the highest. And at 2 o'clock, we sleep the most. And it's a very bad idea to study at 2 o'clock in the morning. So next time, this is like a speed data calculation. So in case for a machine, we also have a similar data bank wherein we know for which thickness, how much is the cutting speed. So for example, the cutting speed for a day was 2 meters per minute, and the cutting length in a whole day was 196 meters, which is quite less. And so the value-added activity is just 196 divided by 2. That's 98 minutes. And you divide it by the total available time. You remember the 16 hours, you get a productivity. Anybody interested in calculating the productivity for maybe the lowest division of time? Anybody knows what it is? It's the Planck's time. It's 5.4 into 10 raised to minus 44. I'm sure nobody's interested in that. So we move on. Okay, now we unravel a hero. What is OEE about? And since it's an Indian movie, there has to be a song. There has to be some music when we are unraveling a hero. That's a song, and maybe I can do a step for you. And what's OEE? Something wrong? Okay, I introduced, no problem. OEE is overall equipment effectiveness. Okay. What's that about? It's a product of 3 terms: availability, productivity, and quality. As you have seen, availability. I have 16 hours out of the 24 hours which are available with me. Productivity, I assume that I've worked for 8 hours out of the available 16 hours. And my productivity on weekends is, I don't think so, it's anything. And quality, as you know, quality, as I said earlier, the quality percentage in this is less because we're cutting food, we do not waste food. So quality is 100%. So we calculated the OEE for various cutting plates. And what's that? That's 6 sigma. What's sigma for? Just before this, we had the Shah Rukh Khan presentation, and it's called 90. So that's a 6 sigma presentation. Sigma is the deviation or the variation from the standard. And maybe if somebody scores a 60, that's a 2 sigma process. So that's the machine. We applied a 6 sigma process. We ensure that the machine operates in a 6 sigma level. That's the level of quality or the error-free we desire to have. Okay, now we had 33% OEE over here. That's a very low figure over here, and we like to do some problem-solving methods over here. What do we do? There's brainstorming, there's pie charts. Pie charts list the non-value-added activities accordingly so that you can attack on the highest percentage. And this is Pareto charts. What's that? 80% of the problems are due to 20% of the causes. What's that? In Germany, at night, generally you're drunk, and you go log on to Facebook, and in 20 minutes, you do all the things which you should have not done. You are in a relationship with someone, you're abusing someone, and the next 80 days, you are going to explain these things. So that's 80% of the problems, 20% of the causes. So if you avoid the 20% of the time on Facebook, you can avoid the 80% of the problems. Okay? So there's one more, root clause analysis. That's an important one. I'm sure the invention of this must be done by a husband whose wife was very irritating and always asked why and why. So why do I have less energy? Because I don't sleep properly. But why do I have no sleep? Because I have a bad habit of getting up late. But I also have stress at work, so I could not sleep. But why do I have stress? Because I can't manage work. I can't manage time. So the root cause of my less energy is that I don't value time. Similarly, you attack the problems in a production system. Okay, summarizing, this project was achieved in a 6 months duration, And lean manufacturing and Six Sigma was implemented, along with some personal benefits for me also. And the next time your boss scolds at you, why are you not working? You can always do a why analysis, or you can ask him what is your OEE. And in case you forget your life, just 2 minutes. Yeah. Just 1 minute. In case you forget any time in your life, what is OEE, what is why analysis, remember this couple. Okay, and finally, machines were invented, operated by us. But now times are changing. We are working like machines. I had an alarm set for the 9th minute, but it didn't ring, so I don't know. So the machine always says the pleasure is always mine. And ending, like a Deutschlehrerin immer sagt, the House of Gabe heute ist, calculate your OEE. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.